Hi, today I wanted to talk about this amazing tool. Amazing, maybe a bit subjective, but K9s or K9s. It is basically an alternative to kubectl or kubectl to operate or to interact with Kubernetes API in a visual mode, right? I guess there are lots of different tools like lenses and one of few of the common ones, and every IDE these days provides some sort of integration which allows you to interact with Kubernetes APIs anyway. But yeah, so let's see this tool K9s, right? Which K9s? I have got this homebrew installed K9s in Mac. This is an official website where there are a few examples as well in here. K9s repo. Let's look into that repository. This is the one derailed K9s. And yeah, this is the view you will see. We'll walk through these views anyway. Installation wise, and I think it was here we go. Pre-install, or you can do snaps, even the Pacman for the arch itself, PKZ, all of the common choices out there, chocolates for Windows and stuff like that as well. So yeah, Docker extensions. So this is the tool. Terminal UI to interact with your Kubernetes cluster, and it is that, right? So okay, let's consider you install it, or there is already installed package in here. So it uses the kubeconfig file to load K9s -help. There are a few options in there. You could K9s, the K9s CLI, and its sort of version, and this is pretty much the view of the K9s. It says the context, what context you're loading, cluster name. In this case, I'm using micro-K8s in, I think I'm running this in Manjaro Linux. User K9s revs, which is a revision of K9s itself, the tool. I should be updating that. Another should be here, 127. We're heading towards 130, if not already, right? Time of recording. Okay, this version. I'm not running any metrics servers, so we don't have any stats in there. But yeah, overall, this is the view, and there are lots of little hints in there. You could switch with those shortcuts. If I have to switch to Kube Systems, then I press the number 2 in here. It takes me to the Kube system. A bunch of different namespaces. You go to default or ways, things like that, handy in there. And if this is a pod, you press the return key. You will get into the container view, and you can see the ports and stuff like that, which obviously you could do that via Y as well, and you could see the detailed manifest of the pods. But you can literally visualize it in here and go into the templates, say pods template, and containers details as well. If you were in this view, you could do likes of describe as in D. Press the D button in here, and it describes me the again the pods templates, as well as the events if there were any. And there is a little hint of what view I am in. Y would be YAML. E would be if you wanted to edit something. Yeah, and port forwarding and stuff like that as well, which we'll look into later. And one of the handy thing with this tool, you can press L, you will start seeing the logs. Let's say I pressed L in here, so it's waiting for a log, because the logs it's currently showing by default is the last 5 minutes. We could change that to be any of this choice. We could say 0 to do tail, and we can do W to do a wrap on, so that if it is a multi-line, we could see the whole logs in there, and we can do scroll or toggle scroll on or off by pressing S as well. That you can see that on and off toggle on the scroll. So let's pick one of the core DNS, maybe pod core DNS. Let's pick one of these. No, that doesn't have much of the logs. Let's pick one of the log which has got this was erroring a bit, right? So what I did here is I pressed the L button in here, press the W to see to unwrap it, zero to see everything, and then I would scroll on and off if it is too busy cluster. So that's how you would visit logs and stuff like that. And for any resource, like you can do deploy, and it will say you all of the deployment SVC as a service. Obviously, we looked into pods. Say I want to check config maps. Here I'm pressing this colon, not the semicolon, and colon secret, and it will list me all of the secrets, and also to the Helm side of things, right? Yeah, quite handy. Aliases, and it also gives you a suggestion there on what are there basically. And if you do LES, that it will say, okay, you want to type LESs, say Calico node status. It gave me the session, global network policy, and yeah, autofillings and stuff like that. Net polls, nothing in there, but you can now if it was there and you're doing some sort of admin job on a Kubernetes cluster, this will be quite an relief tool. Once I learned about this tool, I think I'm not generally using kubectl. In some cases, I find it a bit annoying. Or obviously, if it is a heavy cluster, right? If it is a heavy cluster and you're doing some sort of else in there, or if it is heavy cluster and you're loading logs, if it populates too many, it can, depending upon your machine configuration as well, it can be tricky. Otherwise, yeah, I don't have much complaints here. Say you have a deployment, right? In this case, okay, let's do this. Let's look into this. Core DNS here, I want to scale it up with 2 replicas. That goes scaled up. And if I want to do a logs, check the logs, you'll see both of those containers there, right? Because I'm pressing L on a deployment level, it is showing me the logs around all containers. And if you do that on a daemon set level, it will do the same as well, right? For across the board. But in this case, I'm only operating this test cluster on a one node machine, so you would see one, but you get the idea there. And yeah, I do run all of these home stuffs on this machine as a test before it goes to my another home machine. And I never use other tool actually. And another quite cool is SVC. So I can do this port forwarding, right? So let's say if you want to port forward this, you could do Shift F and say, okay, local port Grafana port 3000 from local port 3000. Okay, and if I go and open 1000, it will load my Grafana instance. Here it shows ages and things like that, how long it has been running for. What else? Like namespaces would be here as a namespace. all, and then it starts showing that. There it says port forwarding is on, which is visible by this little highlighted F button in here, right? And so nodes and when we were in a pods view, there was also a show node n, which I never seem to use it. But okay, another quite cool would be if you do s on the pod, you can get into the container, and okay, there isn't any id cat etc issue Debian Linux. That is the home container, a dashboard tool, right? So yeah, you can pretty much do all of those things here, which you would have otherwise done with a kubectl get pods -n kube system, right? Or kubectl logs po K9s -n cube system -f to tell the logs and things like that. Pretty easy to do this visually, right? And that these W's and S and O's are quite nice, and you can actually save your logs as well if you like. You can save the logs, mark the logs, clear, which is pretty common in ordinary, I guess, right? But yeah, you can do all sort of things that you would want to use kubectl for. What else? We can look into events, and again, this basically I can walk through all of those API resources, but this column and that little dog kind of icon means you're in a search mode. Whereas if you are in, let's say you're looking into this event and you're looking into this event and you want to search it here, you type / and this works on every other component as well. Now you're doing a search for core DNS, and you enter, get into there, and you can use like an VI, like N. I'm pressing the N button in here and switching for the next, or Shift N to go backwards. Same as an VI, right? So yeah, I hope if you haven't been using it, you will be using it, and I hope you like it. That's all for today. Cheers.